It's playing games. Oh, hello everyone, and welcome to my new show, Out of Nowhere. Well, I've got a terrific guest on my show today. He's from Adelaide in Australia. So it's early morning for David. It's coming up to 3 in the morning for him. Um, Now, David, we'll be talking about reverse speech. He's been doing it for about 30 odd years now. Uh, he was born in Australia, rural Australia. Um, David has devoted his full time attention to youth work. It's been a while since running an halfway house with street kids. But in 1984, he first heard about the backward messages in rock and roll, and a new hobby was born. Playing the tapes backwards, he rapidly became obsessed with a new hobby, and by 1987, he has developed his theory of reverse speech. Can we please welcome David to the show? Hello there.
Hello, sir. How are you? Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, been doing it for
Thank
40
you.
years. You said
40
30. It's
years.
been 40. Been 40 years. A
40
long
years.
time. Yeah, a long,
It
long
is.
time. Mm.
For those who don't know, what is reverse speech?
Okay, well, in a nutshell, it's another form of human communication, an extra human sense. The theory I'm proposing is that language is bi-directional, forwards as well as backwards. Um, and how this works in practice is quite literally if you take speech and run it in reverse, once every 15 or 20 seconds, you can hear very clear phrases amongst the gibberish, which is the unconscious mind speaking. So the public first heard about it as those strange backward messages in rock and roll. They hit the press fairly heavily in the late 70s and early 80s. And a lot of people started playing records backwards, and we're hearing all sorts of strange things. And it got demonized by calling it satanic, which is human nature, something we don't understand. We always put it down to the occult or Satan or whatever. So, but that's how I started my work. And up until I came along, no one ever looked at speech. Everyone was just playing their records backwards. Then I started looking at human speech and started finding this stuff in speech. I'm going, oh my God, this is amazing. What on earth is this? And I started finding thoughts of friends and relatives and intimate details. And it was in 87, after doing it for 3 years. I started in 84. So in 87, after doing it for 3 years, the penny dropped. I thought, wow, this is another form of communication. This has got nothing to do with Satan at all. It's the brain. It's another form of language. We are speaking both forwards as well as backwards. So that's it in a nutshell. A fairly long explanation, but there you go.
Did
Yeah.
uh, did you find a lot of it when you first started out in LPs?
Yeah, well, that's when I first started. Yeah. I looked at music. That's all I did for 3 years was look at music. And I played all my records backwards and I in '87 I decided, well, let's write a book about all of this, about backward mastering, and it was then that I stumbled across it in Human Speech. But yeah, I started with LPs. Well, actually, I used a reel-to-reel player, one of those old reel-to-reel players, and that played backwards. So that was way back in the early days. Reel-to-reel players and a Commodore 64 computer, if anyone can remember those, the very
Oh
first
yeah,
computer
can
that ever hit
yeah.
the market. So that's what I was using in the early days, and yeah, so I accidentally stumbled across in a speech. Actually, why don't I give an example of this? Let me
Yes,
let me
please. Yes,
let
yeah.
me
That would
play
be great.
you. Let me play you the very first example I ever heard in human speech. And okay, so this is Neil Armstrong walking on the moon. So here it is forwards.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
And backwards he says, "Man will spacewalk."
Man will spacewalk. Man will spacewalk.
And again.
Man will
I played it 3 times at 3 separate speeds. So that was the very first one I ever heard in speech. And the thing that intrigued me most about it was that, well, he's saying spacewalk backwards, and that's what he's doing. He's walking on the moon, or at least I don't want to get into theories whether they went to the moon or not, but you can read that
Yes.
reversal a couple of different ways. But the context of it just really amazed me.
What did you think at that time then, when you were listening to this, thinking, how can that be?
Yeah, well, that's exactly what I was thinking. How can that even get there? And then, literally in the same day, the same morning, actually, I remember this morning really, really clearly. And the same morning, probably about a half an hour later, I'm trying to think of the time frame. I think it was about a half an hour later, I found this. Hang on, let me just IJK. Okay. Here we go. Got it. Sorry, I've got a new computer and I'm still getting used to it.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. So literally about 20 minutes later or half an hour later, I found this one. This is a live commentary of JFK's assassination in Dallas, Texas.
Just a moment, please. Something has happened in the motorcade route. Stand by, please. Parkland Hospital, there has been a shooting. Parkland Hospital has been advised to stand by for a severe gunshot wound. The president's car is now going past me. The limousine is now traveling at a very high rate of speed.
And backwards, he says really clearly 3 sentences all strung together. He shot bad, hold it, try and look up. So this is straight backwards, played at 3 different speeds. He shot bad, hold it, try and look up.
He shot bad, hold it, try and look up. He shot bad, hold it, try and look up.
Yeah, you don't need the 3rd speed. That's and I was stunned. I go, oh my gosh, how can that happen? And once again, it was related directly to the forward speech. Okay, JFK's been shot. The reporter's looking around. He shot bad. Hold it. Stop everything. Try and look up. Look where the shots came from. Okay, so that was the second one I found about half an hour later, and I was gobsmacked. I was really gobsmacked. I'm thinking, how can this possibly be? How can this get there? And here, let me play one in a normal everyday conversation.
Right.
Just I've got an ordinary conversation here somewhere. A B C D E H. Oh, I think it's under. Oh, look, I'll play this one. This is the one I was looking for, but I've got one here. This is a fairly thick Aussie accent, so a bit thicker than mine. This is one of our Indigenous Australians, and there was a period in Australian history in the 1950s where the government came and took all half-caste children away from the away and put them into white orphanages. It's called them the stolen generation. Australia has since apologised to the Indigenous people for it. But here's a man being interviewed on TV. He's an Indigenous Australian, and he's talking about how he was looking for extra family, and he's talking about how he found other family members. So let's just run this forwards first.
And I was about 30, 35, and I found out that my father was alive.
How did you find out?
It's just through word of mouth.
And backwards, he says, I have an older sister.
I am an older sister.
Here's
it's
the
just through word
forward.
of mouth. I am an older sister.
Yeah, you hear that? See how clear that is?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have an older sister. And then he goes and talks next about how he found a whole bunch of brothers and sisters. So let's just pick it up. Hang on, let's just play this again.
I am an older sister.
Okay, so then he starts talking about how he found he had sisters and brothers.
Yeah, well, I just talked to different ones about it because I was sort of trying to trace a sister, one of my sisters.
So you found out that you had sisters and brothers?
Yeah, I knew all along I had one sister. But in my search for her, I found out that there was other brothers and sisters.
So, and and like you said, first off, I have an older sister. Here it is again.
I am an older sister. I am an older sister. I am an older sister.
So he talks about it backwards, and
Yeah.
then he talks about it forwards, which I just find absolutely amazing. You know, and
Yes,
I-
it is. There must be some more
Sorry?
significant. There must be some more significant reverse you have found as well. Some more.
oh, significant. Oh yeah, heavens, boy, where do I start on that one? Look, I've been reversing for 40 years. This has been my full time. This is all I've done. I actually have my own therapy practice where I use reverse speech and work with clients. So I've been doing that. I've had my practice, gee whiz, for 35 years now. I work over Skype. But yeah, I've got so many significant reversals. I've got the truth behind the JFK assassination, the truth behind 9/11, the moon landings, the UFOs, Martin Luther King assassination. Oh, gee whiz! I mean, I've every year of politics. Oh, you know what you might like? A lot of your listeners are in England. Is that correct?
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Okay, well then I was asked recently to do reversals on Keir Starmer and what's
Ooh.
the other guy's name?
Um,
Rishi Sunak.
yeah, Sunak. Yeah.
Yeah. So why don't I play you? You want some more significant reversals? We'll look at a couple of these. Okay. So now these are video reversals. I've got to open the folder. Now, where are they filed? It's just taking a little while to get used to my new folder structure for my new computer.
Yeah.
So
Just take your time.
that's okay. So we're looking for Keir Starmer. All right, let's see. What have I got here? All right, I've got a few here. Okay, we'll start off with this one. Oh, it won't open it. Why won't it open it? Open with media player. Okay, there we go.
Seriously, whenever he is confronted by factions in his
Okay, hang on. Where the volume is really low on this, we'll turn it right up.
seriously, whenever he is confronted by factions in his party, people who are miles away from serving the values of the British people, he caves in every time.
But he says backwards, but see love in your verse.
But we love and give us. But we love and give us.
You hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah, very clear. So he's actually giving Rishi Sunak a compliment backwards. Now let me play a reversal on Rishi Sunak
Yeah.
and find out why he's actually saying that. Because now, bear in mind, look, I've got nothing to do with England, with British politics. I've got no stake in this at all. So this is just okay. So here's okay. Now I've got to work out how to open this. Wonder how I can make it remember my. Okay, so here we.
So let us go
So here's Rishi. Sorry.
Yeah, Rishi.
further, confident in our values and confident in our future.
And he says, "See love, want it."
See, love, want it.
See, love want it.
Oh,
Want it.
Okay. So Rishi Sunak and Keir Starmer both have good reversals.
they do.
I was actually quite impressed with them. Now, here's another one on Rishi. Then we'll play you some more on Keir Starmer. Okay. So here's Rishi Sunak.
Jewish children fearful to wear their school uniform lest it reveal their identity.
And here he says, "I was full of faith."
There was the fifth.
There was the fifth. There was the fifth.
So how about that, hey? So
That's
there you-
strange, isn't it?
Yeah.
A couple of questions here.
Yes.
There's a couple of questions here.
Uh-huh.
Rebecca's. I'll just do Rebecca's one first.
Sure.
Hi, David. Are there hidden messages in all spoken sentences?
Not necessarily every sentence. They only occur about once every 15 to 30 seconds of normal conversation. So it's not in everything. It's more like footnotes, little messages clipped in every 15 or 30 seconds or so. Okay, so it's not constant. It's just short, sharp phrases, like the ones I played. They're sort of short and quick. Does that make
Right.
sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Fabian's here. Have you looked into Trump's speech, the father of vaccines, with millions of dying or dead?
You know what? Yes, I have. Now you're going to want me to play that reversals. Oh boy, I wish I knew this beforehand. I am not too sure where that's filed.
That's
Yes,
all right.
yeah,
If you
I've
can
got.
find it,
Sorry?
gonna say, if you can find it later on, by all means, play it.
Yeah, no, he actually quite knows that the vaccines. I'm trying to think which year he said it in. I file all my files in years, and I think it might have been in 2020. So
I'm
just
gonna
let me look
say,
really quickly through my Trump file in 2020
yeah.
and see if I can see it quickly. He actually acknowledges the vaccine. I don't know what I can say on the air here. Okay, I better watch what I was about to say. I've been cut off the air once by giving an opinion on the vaccine. Um, where are we? No, you know what? I'd have to do a search in my folder and find. I've literally got hundreds of thousands of reversals on my computer.
I can imagine you can. Yeah,
Hundreds of thousands
we'll
of them.
do Starmer again then.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Starmer, I know where he is. So let's go back to Starmer. Hang on. I just got to go back to 2024. Someone said to me the other day, I need an easier way to sort my reversals out. And I'm thinking, how? I
Exactly.
I
How
don't
can
really.
you do it?
Yeah, I know. So I've learnt the art of chatting while I find my files at the same time. Okay. Here's Oh gee whiz, where are we? Well, we've got let's see, these are metaphors. Okay, we've got a couple of metaphors here. I'll have to explain what reverse speaks a lot in metaphoric language, using words like wolf, Lancelot, garden, goddess. I could actually spend a whole show talking about metaphors. So here's a
Right.
simple metaphor on Keir Starmer.
But as I reflect and look forward to this election, I believe my background has also shaped my politics in a deeper way.
Here he says, the wolf, WOLF, the wolf in the stealth.
Wolf and the stealth.
Wolf and the stealth. Wolf
Oh.
and the stealth.
You got that? Nice and
Yeah.
clear. Okay, well, wolf is a common metaphor. It's our motivation, our drive. The fact that he uses it tells me he's a strong, motivated person. And stealth, I get the sense that he works, he's very cautious. Like you think of a wolf stalking his prey, the wolf in the stealth. He's cautious the way he walks and his way through politics. I don't know anything about the guy. I'm just saying, yeah, he strikes me as a cautious, shrewd, strong politician is what that reversal tells me. So,
Yeah.
no, nothing about him. Here's something where this is interesting. This reversal got me looking into his background. This is the very first reversal I ever found on him. Now I know nothing about the guy, so literally when I opened up the video, first time I ever heard his name or seen his face. So, but this reversal got me checking into his childhood, and I'll play it and I'll tell you why. It's a metaphor, once again.
Grew up in a small town, actually not a million miles from here. It's a place called Oxted on the Surrey-Kent border. Similar to Lancing, I suppose, in some respects, although no sea.
Okay, so he's talking about when he grew up, okay? He grew up in a small town.
Yeah.
And I heard a reversal. It's a metaphor, so I'll have to explain it. Devil cancer must deserve some solace. Again. And again. Okay, now cancer doesn't necessarily mean cancer, but the devil is well, it's a soft metaphor. It's got nothing to do with Satan. It's negative, something negative. So I thought to myself, well, there was sickness in his family when he was growing up. That's what that reversal told me. And solace, solace, console, look after, be sympathetic to. And so I searched his background and discovered that his mother had, what was it? You'd probably know more than I would know. His mother had some disease that she had to go to hospital for most of his life growing up. I can't remember. I Googled it and found it all. It was quite fascinating.
I bet it was.
Sorry?
I bet it was.
Yes, it was indeed.
Finding out.
Yeah. And okay, well that's see, he had a lot of metaphors. Look, here's another one. This is and I usually don't like playing metaphors on shows because they get into cryptic language. But anyway, here we go.
They'd made the decision they wanted a second child. They'd found a new house that they could move into for their expanded family. They'd got a mortgage offer that they could afford. They were looking forward, the next step forward in their lives.
The wolf that gathered the fox.
The wolf that gathered the fox.
Clear.
The wolf that
Oh,
Yeah, clear as day.
yeah.
And that's like the same thing as a wolf with stealth. You think of a fox also as shrewd and sleeking around. So it once again reaffirms that he's a shrewd, driven, motivated politician. So, all right. Yes.
Have you got any on Bowden?
On Biden?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I got stats on Biden. Where do you want to start on Biden? Okay, let me open up Biden. And here's his... oh, gee, so many. What do I play? And you'll see, you study... oh, I don't know where even to begin. Okay, all right, here he is. Talking after the attempted assassination on Donald Trump. Here he is talking about ringing Trump. Okay, so here we go.
Very cordial. I told him how concerned I was and wanted to make sure I knew how he was actually doing. He sounded good. He said he was fine.
And here he says, "The soul I nursed."
The soul I nursed. The soul I nursed. The soul I nursed.
So very, very good reversal. Okay, he obviously rang Trump with concern. The soul I nursed. I expressed my concern. Look, I've got a real funny one on him. Let me just pull. Every time I play this, I get loads of laughs. Here we go. All right, Biden's well known for all his stutters and stammers and gaffes. Okay,
That's right.
His performance in the last debate got him into trouble. I'm sure you all know that.
Oh,
So
yeah.
here he is stuttering and stammering. Here's the forwards.
No indication that's the case at all with regard to, there's a total of.
So as you can see, he's having trouble getting his stuff out.
He is.
And he says backwards, "Have I lost it?"
Lost it.
Oh. Ah,
Yeah, I thought you'd get a kick out of that. That's a funny one. I like that one. Yeah. He doesn't scrape up very well, unfortunately. For example...
there's just a question here.
Yeah, sure.
Do you think it's subconscious or your soul talking?
Oh, very astute question. It's not the soul, but it's not the unconscious. It's actually the spirit talking. It's the divine essence, the divine spark that lives inside of all of us. and it is describing many aspects of our psyche. It describes our soul, it describes our unconscious, it describes our conscious, it reveals thoughts that we are that we have at the time of thinking. I've got a classic reversal. This is what reverse speech is. Okay, here's reverse speech telling us what reverse speech is. Okay, so I'll play this forwards. This is me talking. I'm on a radio show, and I'm talking about reverse speech. So here's the forwards.
People ask me, does reverse speech endorse any particular religion? And the answer to that is no. There are no deities or religions that reverse speech endorses or says this is right or this is wrong. It just talks about the soul and the endlessness of life. And that in itself is very powerful. Indeed.
And this reversal says it's the voice in heaven.
This is the voice in heaven. This is the voice in heaven.
There you go, and again.
Oh my God.
It's our spirit or our heart. That part of us that is connected to the divine essence. That's what's speaking backwards. It's if you can think of the heart of man, who we are, our real self laid bare. It reveals the conscious, the unconscious, and the soul itself. And it is the spirit, the voice of the spirit speaking. And reverse speech talks about the soul and the spirit being two separate things. I can do a whole show on that too, but we won't get into that today.
Very interesting, that is.
Yeah, it is. Oh, fascinating. Yeah, look, I've got some fascinating reversals about spirit stuff here. Let me oops, wrong folder. Where does it go? Here we go. I got a whole lot of reversals about the soul and light. So what have I done? Oh, okay. Where are we? Here is a young man talking about he's a street preacher, and he's in the street with some street kids, and he's praying for them. I think. Yes, he's praying for them.
DeAndre, you're amazing, man. You are. You have amazing purpose, dude. You're amazing. Father, I thank you for DeAndre in Jesus' name.
And backwards he says, "In the light are we."
In the light are we.
In the light are we.
Oh.
In the light are we.
Now let me play you another reversal that's going to lose me some friends.
Never mind.
This is I'm going to play two reversals on Trump, one after the other. So here's the first one.
Cash bail releasing 400,000 criminals onto our streets. Think of no more cash bail. Look at what happened in New York.
And here he says, and then the battle with the light.
And then the battle with the light.
And then the battle with the light. And then the battle with the light.
So he's saying we are in a battle. It's a spiritual with the light. It's a spiritual battle that we are in. And then he says he said this one just in May of this year. May 2024, the one I'm playing now.
I made a nice speech, one big crowd. I said, and it's all over town. Look at all that press. Look at all of them.
And here he says, serve that Lord of the light.
Serve that Lord of the light.
Serve that Lord of the light. Serve that Lord of the light.
You hear that? So,
yeah, we did. Yeah, we heard that loud and clear.
Yeah. So, anyway, I got a lot of reversals about that.
Have you got anything on Boris Johnson from Rebecca?
Oh boy. You know what? I believe I do. Just tell me what year was he in, because that's where it's going to be filed.
He's been 20,
22.
Yeah, 20, somewhere around that area.
22. Boris Johnson. There we go. I went straight to 22. Oh my. Okay. Okay. Well, here's one that uses the choice language. I've only got 3 on him. Here's one of them. Oh, look, I may have some more in 21. Anyway, but this is what I got in 22.
Yeah. Okay.
It's vital for us all now to get over what a catastrophe it would be for Russia. People forget that Ukraine has already been engaged in conflict with Russians or Russian separatists in the east of the country for 8 years now.
Who says you're shagging in media wars? Wow. In other words, he's getting really humbled by the media, okay? And I mean, I guess he wasn't he? I don't know much about what happened. And here's another one on him. This is play this one.
Yes, and just Randy, on your point about what's happening in Kharkiv, it's absolutely sickening. And if it reminds me, if anything, if you remember the shelling of Sarajevo market by the Serbs, the shelling of innocent people in Bosnia, it has that feel to me.
They'll beat them silly.
Never beaten silly. Never beaten silly.
Oh my God. Yeah, and look, he's got one about love too. Huh, what's this with British politicians and love? You don't find them in American politicians, I can tell you. Here's the last one I got on Boris Johnson.
Which was the creation of a Europe whole and free, where, you remember in 1989, 1990, when the Berlin Wall fell, and there was this extraordinary, intoxicating moment.
Why form the loving?
Why form the loving? Why form the loving?
Yes, yeah.
Why form the loving?
Yeah. I don't know what that means. He's.
No, I don't.
Oh,
Think.
Yeah. Let me here. I've found one this year on King Charles. I got a couple on Kate Middleton. I got lots on Harry and Meghan. Oh, they are not,
yes, please.
Okay, I'll get them up. They aren't nice reversals at all. But let's play King Charles first. This is a really nice one on King Charles. This was this year. Something about all I got is King at Commonwealth. So I'm not too sure what he's talking about. Let's just play it.
Having recently celebrated my own 75th birthday, it warms my heart to reflect on the way the Commonwealth has been a constant throughout my own life.
I am to share blessing.
I am to share blessing.
I am to share blessing. I am to share blessing.
Yeah, that's a nice one, you know.
Yes, it is a nice one.
Yeah, that is a nice one. Okay, now Meghan. They are in 2022, I believe. Prince Harry, Meghan and Harry. Here we go. Meghan and Harry file. Oh, look, I've got so many classic ones. Let me see if I can pull up the really good ones.
Yeah.
This one here. Oh, look, this one here. I just had me in stitches on the floor and laughing. They're talking about the first time they met.
Really very awkward at first. Like, oh God, do we kiss? And I just remember he handed me a chicken sandwich.
And then we jumped to the Land Cruiser and off we went.
And in reverse, she tells us how she really felt when she first met Harry. She says, "Oh God, you puke." Yes.
How strange is that one?
I'm sorry?
Yeah, very strange is that.
Oh, I know. That one had me on the floor and laughing. She's got a oh gee, where do I go? Well, here's another one on Meghan. She's got a great one. Well, she's got a very revealing one on a documentary with Oprah. I'll see if I can pull that one up if I can remember what year I've got that in. But this reversal here is classic Meghan.
And then as we were talking about, when are we going to see each other next? He's like, I have to go to Africa, doing some conservation work. He's like, I have 1 week off. And I was like, I have 1 week off. And it was the same week. So he said, do you want to come to Botswana? I said, let me think about it. And then I did.
And I can get the trouble.
And I forget
When she can get the trouble too, she's caused a whole lot of trouble.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
To say the least. Where's Harry? Oh, here's an interesting one. This gets into some deep psychological issues on Harry. He's talking about how they got married, I think. Anyway, I'll just play the forwards.
But hearing her talk and sitting down, having conversations and chats, I was just like, well, here you are, just blissfully, like, I guess, sleepwalking through life.
And his mother, the ghost I marry. Yeah, shades of Princess Di, that is, you know.
Oh, it is, yes.
Yeah, that's let me see if I can pull up the Oprah interview really quick. There's a couple of quite damning ones. I think that was in 2021, if I remember correctly.
I would say so. Somewhere around that area.
Yeah, where is it? Well, it's done in 2021. Harry and Meghan and Harry. Okay, hang on, it might be this. Yes, this is what I want. Okay, yeah, this is what I'm looking for. This is one of the reasons why Meghan did the interview with Oprah. Okay, so here we go.
Typically, we're stepping back from senior roles to be just like several. I mean, I can think of so many right now who are all their Royal Highnesses, Prince or Princess, Duke or Duchess, who earn a living, live on palace grounds, can support the Queen if and when called upon.
And she says, "Wish to shatter Queen." She wanted to cause trouble in the royal family, is what she wanted to do. That's why she went ahead and did the interview. So let me see what I got on Harry in the interview.
There's another, just before you move on, another question from Lynn.
Yes.
Premonition reversals also very fascinating.
Oh yes, wow. Well, that's a very pertinent question. You know, I actually found some more premonition reversals today. Actually, I haven't played them to anyone. I'll play them for you. You're the first one I'll play them for. But
yes,
let me play you another one first. Where is it? H-I-J. H-I-J-K. I'm looking for JFK. Here we go. This is what I'm looking for. Okay, this is a premonition reversal. This is JFK in 1961 in his inaugural address. Okay, so we'll play this forwards.
The slow undoing of those human rights to which this nation has always been committed and to which we are committed today at home and around the world.
And this one says, "Head is hitting the car."
Head is hitting the car. Head is hitting the car.
You hear that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
That is a direct premonition of his assassination.
It is, yeah.
Yes, it is. Now, I found some premonition reversals on Trump tonight, actually.
Oh.
And so where's 2024? 2024 Trump assassination attempt. Here we go. Where are they? Okay, this is Trump at a speech he gave 2 weeks before the assassination. Okay. Oops, hang on. Open with media player. Okay, I've got 3. I'll play the second one's the really doozy, but here's the first one. 2 weeks before his assassination attempt.
And then like a nightmare, it all began, but on day 1 of my new administration, we will throw out Bidenomics and we will replace it. We are going to replace it with Maganomics. We're Maganomics.
and he says they want a gun.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now you remember the name of the assassin? Thomas.
Yes, Thomas.
Thomas Crooks. I can't think of his full names.
Yeah.
Anyway, Thomas Crooks. Oops, hang on, opening the wrong one. Where's the one I'm looking for? Where'd it go? Yeah, here we go. Okay, so what's going on here? Open with media player. There we go. Okay, Thomas Crooks. So here's Trump.
Even fundraising, you know, we did more. We raised more money after this crooked trial than we've ever raised. I think than any candidate. I think we raised over $400 million. Can you believe it?
And backwards, Crooks see the fate. He's naming his own assassin in.
He is.
I know that.
It just gets you wonder then, doesn't it? Yeah, that's very strange, is that?
Yeah, premonition reversals. Yeah, absolutely. And here's the third one. I found 3, and here's the third one here. Bear in mind, this is 2 weeks prior to the assassination attempt.
Someday you'll have a bomb that can do destruction, the likes of which nobody can even imagine.
The killer wants you, the skull on it.
You don't want you to skull on it.
There you go. So there's 3 creepy reversals that'll send goosebumps down your spine. Yeah.
It will, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there you go. So
proves
yes,
there's something in it.
I'm sorry.
It proves there is something in it.
Oh yeah. Well, look, you're tapping. When you're tapping into the unconscious mind with reverse speech, and anyone look, it's well known that less than 5% of the human mind is conscious. The other 95% is all unconscious, and there's so much that goes on down in the unconscious mind. We have so many abilities. We can look into the future. We can know the outcome of life decisions. We know it all in the unconscious.
Oh yeah.
And that's what reverse speech taps into. The unconscious thoughts, the reasons behind us doing things, the ability to look into the future, and premonition. I've actually got quite a few premonition reversals. They're quite amazing. They really are. So, yeah. And
have you got any on John Lennon?
John Lennon. Yes, I do. Let me play you. Let's see if I can put my hands on this real quick. ABs. Here we go. This is John Lennon being interviewed after Brian Epstein died. Okay, so here we go. He was the Beatles manager. For those who don't know rock and roll history, I remember all of that. I was alive back then. See, that gives my age away. I can remember the Beatles coming big. You know, I was such a fan of the Beatles.
Yeah.
Beatles in my teenage years, I tell you. All right, so here's John Lennon being interviewed after Brian Epstein died.
I understand that this afternoon Maharishi conferred with you all. Could I ask you what advice he offered you?
He told us not to get overwhelmed by grief, and to whatever thoughts we have of Brian, to keep them happy, because any thoughts we have of him will travel to him wherever he is.
And here he says, "Can't be Beatles now."
Can't be Beatles now. Can't be Beatles now.
Hear that?
Can't be Beatles now.
Yeah.
So the significance is, a lot of rock and roll historians will tell you that the death of Brian Epstein was the catalyst that led to the Beatles' eventual breakup. And that seems to be the thought on Lennon's mind at the time. Guy Epstein's died. What are we going to do? Can we still be Beatles?
Yeah.
Actually quite an interesting reversal. I'm trying to think what year I got the other ones filed in.
60s? No.
Yeah. Let's have a look. See if I can. I'm going back to my very early years. I did them way back at the beginning. IJK, no, they're not there. No, look, I don't know where they are. I could look forever. I'd have to.
Did you ever do anything on Diana?
Yes, I do have reversals on Diana. I've actually got a couple of premonition reversals on Diana, actually.
Oh,
So, where she's actually predicting her own death. Okay, now the thing is, which year have I got them filed in? Because these were filed in when I found them. But yes, I've got a few. She talks about chauffeur dying. Talks about having an accident. Oh, maybe it's under P for Princess Di. Oh, look at that! I looked under Princess Di and bang, there you go. Oh, this is not all of them. This is not the ones I was looking for. Oh, I must have another file. Okay, well, look, I've got one up here. Here we go.
I hated myself so much. I didn't think I was good enough. I thought I was a good enough child. Oh, that's long as one from leg. I always used to take
Oh, that's horrible audio. She says, I was sad, but I doubt whether you'll hear it.
I was sad.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
I was sad.
I was sad.
I was sad.
But that's not the one I'm looking for. I'm looking for the, I got a reversal on her. Oh, here's one of them. Oh, look at this. Okay, here we go.
And I cried like I've never cried before. It was anger. It was 7 years of pent-up anger coming out.
Okay, this is a premonition reversal. Now, one of the things about premonition reversals is they generally speak in the present tense, even though they're talking about the future. Okay, it's like, remember JFK, head is hit in the car, not head will be hit in the car. Okay, so here Di says, and I was left to save us, so we had an accident. So it's a long one. See if you can hear it all. I was left to save us, so we had an accident. Oops, sorry, it played the chords again. Okay, here we go.
I was left to save us, so we had an accident.
Can you hear that? And I was left to save us, so we had.
Yeah.
See, I think that's a premonition reversal, and I think that her death. Well, look, I won't get into conspiracy theories about her death. We'll be here forever. I don't have any reversals to back it up anyway. So, but in one sense, the death of Di almost saved the monarchy because she was causing quite a ruckus. You know, now and I think that's what the reversal refers to, quite frankly. So that's a premonition reversal.
Have you got any on the Queen?
Yes, I do indeed. I have a few on the Queen. Oh, look! Oh, here's an interesting one. Hang on, 2020. What am I looking for? I'm looking for 2023. No, not. I'm looking for 2022. Here's the Queen's address in 2022, which reveals a very interesting reversal. LMOP. Huh. Okay. All right. I got to get back into my sound files again. Queen LMOP Q. No, not there. I thought it was maybe it is in 2022. LMOP Q. Well, that's a little bit frustrating. I always get embarrassed when I can't find reversals.
Does it matter?
I know I've got. Oh, hang on. Here we go. There we go. Queen 2021. Okay, this is the Queen giving her Christmas address in 2021.
And as much as I and my family miss him, I know he would want us to enjoy Christmas. We felt his presence as we, like millions around the world, readied ourselves for Christmas.
Okay, bear in mind, this is her last Christmas address, okay? The very last one. And then she says, I'm sick. God knows it.
Oh.
There you go. So she knew back then. So, yeah, very unfortunate. And here's a rather revealing reversal on her. Let's just run this forwards.
They teach us all a lesson, just as the Christmas story does, that in the birth of a child, there is a new dawn with endless potential. It is this simplicity of the Christmas story that makes it so universally appealing. Simple happenings that form the starting point of the life of Jesus, a man whose teachings have been handed down from generation to generation.
Okay, but backwards she says, yes, they scammed it.
Yes, this game.
Yes, this game. Yes, this game.
And I think she's expressing disgust at people who have abused the Christmas message, who've
Yeah.
lost the real meaning of Christmas. And so she's saying, yeah, this is what Christmas is all about, but look what they've done to it. They've scammed it. They've ruined it. There you go.
Question from Rebecca here.
Sure.
Do you have any that reveal hidden darker side of a person?
The darker side of a person?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And where do you want to start on that one? Oh, sure. Gee, I'm trying to think where to go on that. Look, you know what? I've got a file on. Let me see if I can pull this one up real quick. Not there. 2020. Here we go. All right. Here's the darker side of Joe Biden. Okay. So here he is. Here he is just before he gave his oath of office.
A team that's tested and experienced. It includes groundbreaking Americans who come from different backgrounds, but who share my core vision for economic relief here in the United States of America.
And back was demonic oath.
Get on the earth. Get on the earth.
Oh.
Get on the earth.
That's not a nice reversal at all. And
It's not a nice thing, that isn't.
And here's another one on Biden. I'm not picking on Biden. That's just the one I know where I can put my hands on one immediately.
Yeah.
So,
I know.
Yeah.
And thirdly, it's really important that we have the fora, the place, the facility, the circumstance where people can show up, stand in line, and get their vaccine without having to stand in line for 8 hours.
And here it says, "Hear the Lucifer."
Hear the Lucifer.
Hear the Lucifer. Hear the
Oh.
Lucifer.
And here's a dark reversal. This will send chills down your spine.
One of the great gifts of the spirit of independence, and think about this, one of the great gifts is our capacity to see ourselves whole and see ourselves honestly.
And backwards he says, "You're not safe, Armageddon."
Oh.
There you go. I don't know. The way the world's heading right now, unless something happens quickly, the future does not look very bleak. The future looks rather bleak unless something happens.
Hey, Williams here, he said, I really enjoyed listening to you. Will you do a reverse speech on King Charles when he talked, I think, 2020 or 21 at the Global Talk in Scotland?
In 2021?
Yeah.
Well,
You've got it.
I can look in 2021 and see what I've got. Yeah, 2021. Prince Andrew. Oh, no, look, I don't have Prince Charles, but I want to play you this reversal on Prince Andrew. Here we go.
All right.
All right. Okay, now you remember, of course, Prince Andrew got into trouble because of his friendship with Jeffrey Epstein, okay?
Yes.
And Jeffrey Epstein mysteriously died in his cell. There's all sorts of conspiracy theories around it, whether he suicided or was murdered, I mean. So here's Prince Andrew. in his famous BBC interview. Okay, so let's just play this.
Right.
Nobody can prove whether or not that photograph has been doctored, but I don't recollect that photograph ever being taken.
And I'm surprised this reversal hasn't gone viral. It says that because Jeff, as in Jeffrey Epstein, Jeff had to get murdered.
Jeff had to get murdered. Jeff had to get murdered.
Oh, no.
It sounds creepy too, doesn't it?
It does. Definitely
Yeah.
creepy, that one.
This is Prince Andrew revealing his desire to have Jeffrey Epstein murdered. That's exactly what you are hearing. I let you draw your own conclusions over that one. Okay, so
Exactly.
there you go.
I know. Why is there only so few people doing this then?
Oh boy, you know what? I've asked myself that question so many times. Look, it's hard to learn. It's not easy. It's a very difficult skill to learn. It looks simple, but it's not. The dropout rate in my classes is very high, unfortunately. I'll lose at least 50, 60% of my students in every class. Look, I had a lot of publicity in the 90s when I lived in America. I had a lot. I mean, I was on every TV show, probably every radio station. Verse Streets was very well known in the States. I lectured to the FBI and the CIA. Actually, if you want to Google CIA reverse speech, you'll see my book in their Freedom of Information, release of information. So they list their interest in reverse speech on their website. I've worked for police. I've worked for therapists. But to this day, there's probably only a half a dozen people in the world who are good at this. It requires a lot of dedication, a lot of time. I would say that if you really want to learn it, you've got to put aside 3 years to learn it. And that's what puts a lot of people off. Now, look, I'm looking into artificial intelligence now to find reversals. That's the hardest part, is finding them. If we can get AI to find reversals on a recording, that's going to open the whole world up altogether. That's really a game changer. Some of the initial experiments I've done with artificial intelligence and speech recognition have shown that they can hear reversals accurately. So we've made the first steps into that area. My ultimate dream is to have a little app that someone can download on their phone, and as they record off their phone, and the app will print out the backward message that the person's saying. That's what I want to see happen. And then there won't be 6 people in the world doing it. There'll be millions of people in the world doing it, if you know what I mean. So,
Oh God, yeah, that's true.
So
I know. William's got a question here.
Sure.
Thanks for saying it was when Charles talked about he has $12 trillion at his disposal. I was wondering who Charles referred to. He was.
Yeah, no, I have no knowledge of that at all. Sorry. If I had the recording, I could do it and find out. So, but it's the trouble. There's so much to do, so many people to reverse, and there's so little time
it
to get
must
it all
be.
done. Hey?
Because your day must be filled up
Oh, it is.
trying
I'm
to
very
listen to
busy.
things
Yeah.
and people sending you some information.
Yeah. Sorry, say that again. Sorry, what was the last one?
I said people send you information as well. Say, can you look at this for me?
Oh, yes, I get requests all the time. Sometimes I get to requests. Often I can't. There's just not enough hours in the day, and I've got my own therapeutic practice to run as well. And so I see my clients during the day and basically do reversals at night is pretty much how it works. So, yeah.
Oh, man, yeah. I know some of them will. What is actually speaking backwards mean then?
What does it mean?
Yeah, speaking backwards.
Oh, George, that question has thrown me. What does it mean? It means that the human mind is capable of incredible things. It means that we are honest in spite of ourselves, that the unconscious has developed ways for us to communicate the truth. Body language is one area that we know about. Reverse speech is another. We are honest in spite of ourselves. That's what it means. There you go.
Very interesting. Very, I think, we've had quite a few people in chat room tonight and plenty of people asking questions. And I think, when you're doing a show, it's always nice, besides me asking questions, it's nice for other people to ask questions as well.
Yeah. Anyway, well, thank you for having me on. And if anyone wants to get a hold of me, my website is reversespeech.com. My email address is on there, which is backwards@reversespeech.com. And, you can go to my YouTube channel. I upload videos all the time, so just have a look around.
Where can they get your books?
Oh, they're all on Amazon. I've written 20 books altogether so far.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, you can get it on Amazon, including a science fiction trilogy. I'm a fiction writer as well. So there you go. So
and you do classes as well, don't you?
Yes, I do. My next class is starting in January of next year. We would love for people to come and join the class and start to learn this skill. It's all done online through Zoom. So if you're in England, it doesn't matter.
So what time are they usually? What time do you usually do your classes?
Yeah, look, I try to accommodate for everyone. I generally do it at 7 in the morning my time, which is about 9 o'clock in England, I think, in the evening.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah.
Yeah, and about 3 in the afternoon in America. So that's the time that's sort of the best compromise for everyone. So so that's what I do.
Brilliant. That's brilliant timing. That is, so everybody can get involved wherever they are around the world.
That's exactly right. Yes, indeed.
So when you start your next classes, then
January next year, the next class starts.
January, right?
January 2025.
And will you put it out on your Facebook page?
Oh yes, I will. Oh yeah, it'll be all up there. I haven't started promoting it yet, but I will be shortly, and all the information will be on my Facebook page.
I'm going to say, send it to me. I'll promote it as well for you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, well, I will send it to you. Yeah. Look, I'm not on social media much except for Facebook. So if you want to catch up with me, I post on Facebook regularly, 3 or 4 times a day. So just go to David Oates on Facebook, and you'll find me. So, yeah.
I know Steph just in chat room said, "Well, I've never heard of reverse speech before, but I will definitely be looking into it." Thank you, David, and a great show, Bob.
You're most welcome. Yeah.
Joanne just said, "A great show, interesting topic." Rebecca just said, "Very interesting tonight." Thank you, David.
Thank you very much, Rebecca. I appreciate it.
William just says, thank you so much for reading out my comments.
Oh, there you go.
And there's
excellent.
Dick Cole, man. So thank you again. It's been wonderful.
That's okay, mate. I really appreciate it.
I won't leave it too long this time. I think it's a couple of years since you were last on the show.
Yeah, I can't remember. Sorry. Yeah.
No, I can't. I think it's a couple of years ago. Yeah. But you'd be welcome back on any time in the future.
Well, if I've got anything that urgent come up, I'll email you. But you contact me, and anytime you want me on, I'm very happy to be on. So.
Thank you, David.
All right. See you later, everyone.
Yeah, you get back.